Hi everyone, my name's Natalie and here is a come shop with me at Farmfoods. This is the first time that I've been to Farmfoods in about 2 months. It's also the old one that I used to go to, as someone did warn me, but the one that's local to us is really small and doesn't have as much to offer. It's not too far away from us. It's for 2 adults and 9 children. And this is a freezer stock up. It's a snack stock up. It is not our weekly shopping. So there's not going to be fruits and vegetables in here. There's not even that many meals in here. It is mainly for snacks because we haven't had as many snacks as I usually get them from Farmfoods. It works out cheaper. And they also have the 10 for £10 offer on all of, like, I think it's the Bird's Eye stuff, and they seem to have a bigger selection than the other shops do. I ended up spending, I think it was £148 in total, and then I had £12 off in vouchers because I remembered to use the vouchers, so that took it down a little bit. It is now the Easter holidays, and in the run up to the Easter holidays it's quite busy as 2 of my children have exams coming up when they go back. It's also my birthday this weekend, so we've been sorting things out for that. It also means as all of the children are off school, we just go through so many more snacks, so much more food. It's just something that always happens, and we need to take into account when we're doing the food shop, as I know that we'll go through more. I have also seen so many deals for Farmfoods. It seems to be all over social media at the moment. They have washing powder on offer, sauces on offer. I also saw that they had Easter eggs, and I think it was 89p for the smaller ones, which is only about 11p cheaper than a lot of the other places are selling them for. But when you're buying as many as us, that does add up. Unfortunately, by the time I got there was no Easter eggs there. A lot of the chicken that I had seen on offer was no longer on offer. They did still have so many different things. So we managed to get some sauces for 29p. They had lots of cleaning products on sale, washing powder on sale. And that's one of my favourite things about Farmfoods is, although they do carry very similar stock, they also have different prices all the time. So some things could be cheaper next week compared to what they were this week. But it's very, once it's gone, and you have to get in there to get them at the right prices. You never know what you're going to get. And you can do a food shop there. So like I say, I get comments all the time saying there's no actual food there. Well, I think Farmfoods has the biggest range of frozen chicken that I've ever seen. They have so many different meats that you can buy. If you like ready meals, they have so many different ready meals. They have fruits and vegetables at really, really good prices. And we use quite a lot of frozen vegetables. In fact, 90% of the vegetables that we have are frozen. They have a huge range of fresh items. So I do think that you could do a weekly shop there. We just choose to get our snacks and a few of the freezer things from there. So we managed to pick up some cupboard bits. So we got all of those cakes. And then I did pick up some of the pancakes here. As the children are off, they're getting up at different times. And if they can just grab a croissant or a pancake for breakfast after everybody else has had theirs, it makes things a lot easier. Then they also had some Coke Zero for $2.99, and I had Kiana and Neve with me, and Neve really wanted the Coke, so we ended up with some of that. That Besto gravy is on offer for 99p again, the best one, but I do think that was a turkey one. And then I took the last 3 of these. It's not often I will take what's on the shelf, but they only had 3 left, and we go through those quite often. So at 29p, I couldn't say no, but they did also have the normal version for 49p, which is just here somewhere. So you can also go in and pick up, there it is. You can go in and get that still, and I'm sure they'll restock it if they have more. Again, a lot of the other dough meal sauces were 99p, and they also had some of that pronto pasta. So that one there was 49p, the others I think were £1.50. Sauce wise, I didn't need much as we have been picking it up from Asda when we go there. So I just got some of the mayonnaise, but as you can see, again, so many different sauces and quite a lot cheaper than in the other supermarkets too. Some of them are a similar price. I find that it's either really, really cheap compared to other stores, or it is a very similar price. Starting with stocking up the freezer, I got some of these flipper dippers. Not everybody likes them, but it's 99p for the 10 of them. So I picked up 2 boxes of those. I was also looking for the fish fingers. They says they had a bigger one, a bigger pack, 18 pack for £2, but I couldn't see those. So I ended up with 2 of the small packs for 99p, and it's still really good value at that anyway. And then they had moved the store around. So this is where the 10 for £10 was. So it's 3 for £5, 10 for £10, and it's on all of these bird's eye type products. I'm not sure if I recorded it all. I think in a minute you can see the full list of what's available. But I find that they have such a big range compared to Iceland. So I picked up the chicken Kievs. I think it was 3 boxes, maybe 4 boxes of those. I ended up with about 8 of these chicken nuggets, chicken dippers, as this is one of my go-to meals for Sia. If she isn't eating, she's very good with eating most of the time, but sometimes she just doesn't want anything but her chicken nuggets and smiley faces. For sides, we did end up with the Alpha Bites. They also had the spice wedges in this time, which I'm sure they haven't before. So we picked up some of those and then some of the smiley faces too. I ended up doing this twice over, so then we got variations of the different types of chicken. They will go into chicken burgers for them, and depends on whether the children like the spicy ones or not, they will have different variations of those. But I think it said I saved like £19 at the end of it, once I went through the till by doing the 10 for £10 twice. So I ended up with 20 bird's eye products for £20. Again, they had those curry pastes for 99p, and the Patax was on offer as well. I think that was 3 for £5. Can't quite remember, but that's the one that we always used to use. Tuna is something that we use all the time, although I did see afterwards that they had a 3 for £12 offer, so that probably would have worked out better. But I just ended up with 2 lots, and then I also picked up some of the mini corn cobs. Every time I've got them from Asda fresh, they've been off, they've been bad. So I know I showed you in the last video that they were already starting to turn, and someone had suggested washing them, put them in the freezer. So I tried to do that, but by the time that I'd even got them out of the packet, they were, I can't even explain it because I've not had it before. It's like they went, like they curdled on the outside, and that's twice now that they've done that. So I think I'm just going to stick with the frozen ones for that. I was also going to pick up 2 of those smoked sausages, but as I picked up the 2, another 2 fell down, and the girl said that's a sign that I had to get 4 of them. So I did end up with 4 of those, but that will be a really quick meal. It's perfect for when the children have clubs. I can just put on some pasta, add the sausages, some tomato seasoning and some sweet corn, and everybody in the house will eat that. It's cheap, it's quick, and while those sausages or smoked sausage are only £1, it works out really well. I picked up some of the sweet corn as it was 2 for £1, so I ended up with 4 tins of that, although I should have got more as we go through so much of it. It's an easy side to put at the side for the kids. Then I found these korma sauces, and they're only 29p, so we got 3 of those and we will give them a go. That is our go-to, as a lot of the children don't like spice. Neve especially doesn't like spice. So it makes it easy for me. I make one lot of curry, make it with the korma, and then everyone enjoys it anyway. I also picked up some of the mini naan breads at the start. So that will be a meal right there. I still think Farmfoods is the cheapest for milk. So I got 2 lots of milk there. Again, we have some from Asda. I got 4 and that lasts us a couple of days. So we should be good there. Cheese, I picked up the wrong cheese. I was meant to pick up the mature cheddar one and I didn't. I just got the plain one. The kids, again, were asking for these. They're in the free for £3. They seem to come into it and out of it, and they always seem to put different things in their free for £3 items in the fridge area. Picked up some of these Munch Bunch. I was going to get 2 of them, but the last time that I got them, the children didn't eat them, but the times before that they did. And I'm always a bit wary because as soon as I stock up on something, the children seem to go off it. So yeah, I just got 1 packet and we'll see how we go with that. Again, with the dairy milk mousses, I should have got more because they went straight away, but I didn't want to get them and then people not eat them, and they're quite picky with which ones that they do have. These cheesecakes were also in the free for £3, but I don't recommend them. Not this flavour anyway. They're not very nice. And they did have so many things. I think they've upped their range a little bit. So there was so many things in the free for £3, including the Rustler's cheeseburgers. But I didn't pick them up. The trolley was already getting full. And one of the main reasons why I came was to get ice cream. It has been so warm, so warm. And at the moment, I'm finding it quite expensive to buy them from the supermarket. The ice cream van comes around here every single day as well, which is really new to us because where we were before, our children were the only ones in the street. So when it came to things like the ice cream van, it just didn't come down our street. It's the same with Halloween and things. I think this year will be a lot different because we never got trick-or-treaters because we were the only house that decorated on the whole of the street and we were right down at the corner. So I am hoping now it's going to be very different this year. But yes, I'm still the type of mom that will say get an ice cream out the freezer. And that was one of the things I came for. I had seen that they had lots of different types for 99p, which didn't go too well. You'll see in a minute when we get there. There wasn't as much as I hoped and all of the good ones had been taken. But honestly, you'd expect that. It has been so warm here in Scotland and I'm sure everyone else had the same idea. They did, at the start of the store, have like pasta ready meals in a bag and they're on free for £5. And I've seen those all over social media. They seem to be getting some really good reviews. It doesn't work out to be cost efficient for us, obviously, we're a bigger family, but it's perfect for putting away, you know, if you're in a smaller family or if you just need a quick meal for one person. There was lots of deals on the juices as well. There was Lucasade that was free for £1. I think the other Lucasade was only 49p. They had those Tangos there and the Coke Zero. They also had that dairy-free Ben & Jerry's for 99p. Not sure what it's like, never tried it before. I think it was the Caramel Cafe it was called. Then we got to the ice cream and a lot of the flavours that were down to 99p had gone, like I said. I suppose it's because it's been so warm. But we did still manage to get some good ones. But considering it's Ben & Jerry's, that seems like a really good price. They also had the vegan Magnums, which they seem to have quite a lot in there. Those mini Magnums, not that flavour, but a different flavour. They were supposed to be 99p too, and they had all gone. So I think that they had decided to take them, which I don't blame them because that's a really good price. I ended up getting some of the Farmfoods branded ones, so some of the fruit splits. Then we got some of the rocket lollies and then some of the bubblegum lollies too. And then they also had some of those Greek yogurt style ones. Only the salted caramel ones, I think, and the lemonade ones were 99p. So I just got some of the salted caramel ones. But even on the branded ice cream, without the special offers for 99p, they had lots that were 3 for £5 and then the branded ones, which I think is a really good price for that. Others were 2 for £5, which is on par with the usual supermarkets, I think. But there is such a big selection of ice creams too, and this should get us through the next week with this lovely weather that we are having. I did pick up 2 boxes of the Capri Suns. It's warm, we're about to go to the park, and I'm sure that the children will appreciate having one of those, and it works out cheaper than buying them while we are out. They were 2 for £5, I think it was. Then I picked up 2 bottles of Robinsons at 69p and 99p. I did realise afterwards I could have got a bigger one for £1.99, and that might have worked out a bit better. But we have juice now, so that's good. They also have quite a lot of their puddings on sale. So I ended up with 2 of these raspberry cheesecakes. They were only 99p, and it's the cheapest that I have seen them for a little while, so I decided to pick up some of those. All of the bacon stuff there is a really good price, and they did also have the pancake mix again. Again, the fruit is a really good price, but I just find, I don't know what it is with the Farmfoods fruit, it just doesn't seem to stay fresh for very long. So I tend to pick that up in our normal weekly shop. By this point, our trolley was quite full, but they had so many offers on the cleaning products. So they had all of this Fabulosa for like 59p, 79p, and then they had quite a lot of shampoos and cleaning products. They were all a really reasonable price. We didn't really need them as I had just been to Home Bargains to stock up. They didn't seem to have as many cereal as they usually do. Not sure why, but as you can see from that very happy face, Neve wanted the Nesquik ones. So we picked those up. Although I have to admit, the children are not really having as much cereal anymore. It used to be a go-to breakfast. Now they tend to be heading towards cooked breakfast, which I don't mind, as obviously it sets them up for the day well, and there's quite a lot of sugar in the cereal. So we haven't been buying it as much. I had hoped to get the Easter eggs here. To be fair, with the amount that we need, I probably wouldn't have fitted them in the trolley anyway. But they didn't have them, so maybe they've all sold out. I think they had one that was £2 or £1.50. But again, not enough for us, so I will have to do that in a separate shop. I think Tesco and Asda both have them on sale at the moment. Then with all of the washing powder, there's quite a few on sale. So I picked up some of the pods. We tend to use the pods. There was also supposed to be a lot of deals on the softener, but they didn't seem to have those in our store. Then comes my favourite part of the shop, and it's the chocolate. Again, they had all the share bars for 99p. I think the Arrow ones were only 89p. I was trying to hurry up a little bit here, as I realised it would been in here for quite a long time, and as you can see from the trolley, there wasn't much more space to put things in there, but I just grabbed a couple of the usual things that we usually pick up. Again, I tend to find it's either really cheap or it is exactly the same price as the other stores, but it doesn't really matter as we're going to pick it up anyway. So I picked that up, and the last thing we were looking for was the crisps. I wanted to get the 3 for £10 on the bigger packets of crisps, but they didn't have the Quavers, and again, it's the only crisp that Sia will eat at the moment is Quavers and the Golden Wonder. And they weren't on a 3 for £10 offer anymore. So I just ended up getting 4 packets of the Golden Wonder, which I think was 4 for £5. And then we ended up getting some Quavers too. I was expecting it to be a bit more, as the toilet roll alone is £5, and then the £20 on the freezer items. Plus we had brought a lot of snacks and bits in between, so it all added up. But for a full trolley for, I think it was £148 in total, and then I was able to use 2 £5 vouchers and then also a £2 off voucher too. So I ended up with £12 off of that shop. I don't think you can do that in many places anymore. Maybe Aldi, you might be able to, but I was quite impressed for the price. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already.